Welcome in to the HSL for our next series, our next game between Bronx Science and MAST Academy. I'm Alex Magical Voice, joined in by Crusader Kitten to get this exciting match rolling.
Yep, for sure. It should be a fun one here. We saw that first game just so dominant from Bronx Academy South when they got rolling, but only when they were able to get into that middle to late game. So,
yeah,
already on into the rift, and we are seeing this a little bit of an invade here. Not really an invade, but stacking up.
Yeah, they just want to see if they can get another lead like they did, earlier than they did last time. And it's the classic trying to get this action rolling if they can. But I feel like it was more of just trying to answer any sort of aggression that could have come in from the likes of MAST Academy.
Yeah, MAST Academy now on point of elimination here. It's always a scary point in the High School Star League, in any tournament, of course. When you're in the single elimination bracket, down by 1 in the best of 3, and you have to win the next 2 to just get to the next round.
Yeah, that's not a position any team wants to be in, but
no, for sure.
But being in that, you have to imagine that there's going to be some sort of interesting tactic that will be developed by the likes of MAST Academy, where they're just going to try to go for maybe something a little bit earlier, more aggressive, or like we mentioned last time, where we would like to see them try to change things up in the mid game, be able to really compete with Diamond Pickle and not be bullied around once that mid game hit.
So, gonna be... Alright. Diamond Pickle faked me out there. I thought he was about to miss that. The red buff there, but it's all good.
Just wanted the jump coming in, that empowered auto coming from his leap that he gets from bushes.
Yeah, I mean these are why these guys are playing in the playoffs and I'm not. So gonna be the start there. So I mean Shen versus Tom Kench in this top lane. This is, I mean, Tom Kench, from what I've heard, just a terrible top lane champion to match up against when you're melee. And,
yes.
We're already seeing this.
Well, he has a percentage damage coming in from his Devourer. He can stun you up if you ever try to go in, and then he also gets the gray health that he just can revive all the damage. Oh yeah, he's about to go in for that.
He is going in for that, and all the damage coming in from him. The smite to try to heal from Diamond Pickle, but the flash from Imago just to get that last hit in for the first blood, and he's gonna get out and get away.
Smart move coming in from the side of MAST Academy. Something we wanted to see. Sure, we like to see that early aggression. Want to see them go for that, especially putting down Diamond Pickle early on. I think that's a great adaptation from game 1 to game 2 for MAST Academy.
Yeah, and you're seeing a bit of an early game jungle here from Imago and Diamond Pickle going for that Rengar. Not the early game jungle. Level 6 is when his ganks really ramp up. So this is definitely a change. We're not sure how the picks and bans went because these are replays. I would assume Zinzao was banned, maybe.
You would have to. He did so good on that, and you really want to try to pinch the pool of something that you've just seen and go, he's really good on this champion. I don't want to have to face this. I would ban it at least.
Yeah, for sure. So that is going to be just Diamond Pickle put on his back feet a little bit early, and Imago, huge damage in that early game with that Kha'Zix, and you're gonna have to be careful of him if you're Bronx Science.
Talk about a good snowball champion. Kha'Zix is one of those, having the first blood, not even being answered by the likes of Bronx Science. Gotta be wary where he's gonna be able to make his first gank known, as well as what items he's gonna try to go for if he's gonna get a Caulfield's Warhammer in his first back.
So first blood on the board here, and this time it's going to be a 1-0 in favor of MAST Academy. See, last game we were just seeing back and forth kills for the first half of the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Diamond Pickle,
like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. Diamond Pickle wants his own counter jungling right now.
Yeah, but Raptors for a death, not not very equal if you ask me.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So Diamond Pickle, he's going to pick that up and head back out. Middle lane, we're seeing Syndra once again, although this time it's on they did switch it up, right?
Yes.
Syndra on Granzaluno now. He played Anivia last game.
Yes. So got a bit of a change. I think the more important thing that just happened from Diamond Pickle's stealing of the Raptors was that he put a ward down, and with the pathing that Imago took, it made it so they completely knew the pathing of the Kha'Zix, including now where he's going towards that bot lane.
Yeah.
That both the mid laner and bot lane were completely safe from any ganks that could have happened from the Kha'Zix.
A bit more aware of that top lane. Oh, here's that trading. Trying to trade out. Twin Fangs trying to trade with Acid. Forced the flash after it.
Yeah, that is that power of the Tahm Kench. He's such a bully and just not even afraid of anything when it comes to a melee matchup, that he's just like, yeah, you know what? That's fine. You're a tank. You're not going to do that much damage, and I can do % damage. So bring it on.
Yeah, that's just going to be a bit of a struggle here for Twin Fangs, of course. Here's Shen, though, you know. She's looking to hit that level 6. Hopefully not get too behind. Diamond Pickle wants to help him out. Coming up to this top lane, Acid just a little bit too far up ahead here. Taunt's not going to land, but they might have just enough damage to take him down. Yep, no mana on Acid. That's an easy kill for Diamond Pickle.
Yeah, he couldn't even use the Grey Health, didn't have the mana resources that he would have needed, and he knew that too, so he's just like, you know what? I'm not going to waste Splash, not going to waste anything, I'm just going to admit my defeat here.
Yeah, just being a little bit too far pushed ahead there, definitely going to suffer from that. So Diamond Pickle gets on the board with his own kill, so first kills on the two junglers to start things off.
I think the more important thing that happened with that is the fact that, sure, Diamond Pickle, he picks up a nice first kill, but it allows for Twin Fangs to get a little bit more farm, catch up to the likes of Acid, who was able to just completely bully and had a good 2-wave lead in CS over the likes of the Shen.
Oh, definitely.
So when you have that kind of advantage on someone who's able to make cross-map plays with that Abyssal Scepter as well to keep up with the Stand United, I think that is truly the benefit that just happened for Bronx Sciences.
Yeah, and I mean, Stand United, combine that with the Rengar ult, could possibly get a bit of the submarine plays, and they're very easy to dive into that back line when you combine those two, so it's just something that in the future MAST Academy will have to worry about, although that may happen soon. Diamond Pickle on the verge of level 6 here.
Yeah, I think one more camp and then he'll have it. Yep, there it is. He just got it picked up. And I love the comp of having the Orianna, Shen, and Rengar together. You talked about the submarine comp. Talk about that with a ball on top of them. So not only is he tanky, but now he's got this massive shockwave that's about to land onto your entire backline if you're not careful enough.
Yeah, and Shockwave, always just known as that ability that can make or break a game here. So you have to watch out for that one. Wumbo picking it up here as he is on, as it's match point for Bronx Science here, looking to pick up the win to get a 2-0 to move on. We'll see if they can make it happen.
Exactly, and there is quite a lead going in for Wumbo at the moment. He has pretty much just been dominating in the lane as you'd kind of expect going over the likes of a Syndra, unless the Syndra gets a little bit of help, because Orianna is just great at pushing out the wave.
Diamond Pickle middle lane. Shockwave not gonna land. They land their root though. A little bit too late. And now they jump it onto him, and there is Grand Zaludo turning that one around with the help of Ramago.
Look at bot lane having a lot of action coming back and forth.
Icy Doge just can't get to safety in time. Gets picked off by the ace in the hole.
And that is just the cross-map action that's consistently been known throughout this entire series, where the early game is just kill for kill, match for match. And that's finally where we get to see it happening, where a kill happens in the mid lane, and then a kill gets returned on the other side of the map in the bot lane.
That's brutal. And Shannon Cristolero just got missed there by Void Cyclone. That would have been a for sure kill on Bipolarizing if they had gotten it off, so it's going to remain 2 for 2.
Yeah, and I think the more important thing is that's far different from last time, where it was 2 for 2 when we got up to the, I think, 13-minute mark. But the gold was even. Now there's at least a little bit more of a lead in favor of Bronx Sciences. They have, sure, it's only an 800, 700 gold lead right around there. But that's still something that's a little larger than what they had last time. And we saw how well they were able to just blow that open come the 16, 17-minute mark.
So this is going to be an interesting game coming out from these two teams. I mean, kills coming in, middle lane, bit of that now. I think Capri Sun with that ace in the hole, it's like the one time that ace in the hole actually can be used in the middle of a fight. And, I mean, a little bit of miscommunication maybe from Icy Doge and Void Cyclone right there, as Icy Doge got taken down by it.
I don't think they expected Icy Doge to go down either. They thought they had the shields in place.
That shield was enough.
Yeah, exactly, and they thought they were going to survive, but didn't give the respect that they should have to the damage that Ace in the Hole actually does.
Diamond Pickle wanted to make a move on this top lane. He's just sitting on the ward right now. But it's going to be Urmago, and I think we've been seeing this, and Urmago and Granzluno hopping up to this top lane to counter it out.
Yeah, they're trying to path out where Diamond Pickle's going. They're going to spot him on the ward.
Him. That's the stun to start things off. Oh, the wall comes Urmago, and once again, the burst coming in. Urmago flashes, finishes him off.
That was the Stand United use as well to try to keep him safe. So that ability is going to be down, which means that there could be more plays happening across the map where Twin Fangs isn't going to be able to show up.
Yeah, so that's definitely... I mean, that's just a big part of that one used right there, as you say. So this is going to be a bit of a struggle. Urmago back up to the top lane. They want to get something going on the Twin Fangs. And they'll get things started. Flash forced out, so that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, yeah, get a flash. You got the flash off the Shen. You got the ultimate off Shen. Those are two of his major things that makes him useful in fights. So I think that's a massive win for the likes of MAST Academy.
Bronx Science gonna have to play a little bit on their back feet there. I mean, Twin Fangs does have that teleport up though, but without that flash, just getting those shadow dashes off is a lot harder. So
exactly, and he's losing to the likes of Acid. Acid's getting quite the lead over him in CS. He's just being able to bully him and shove him into this tower, making it a lot more difficult for Twin Fangs to be able to go for a gank across the map. And I think this, sure, they're losing in the mid to bot lane a little bit, but all in all, it's still a big win to be able to shut down the Shen a little bit.
So this is game one of, oh no, sorry, game two, Bronx Science versus MAST Academy C. Both of these teams coming from the spring semester of the high school Star League Diamond, and it's been a match of junglers. I think right now Urmago has that 2-0-1 start to bring himself up to speed. Diamond Pickle though, although he's behind once again, he has a little bit of advantage in terms of CS, but a bit of a trade-off this time.
Yeah, he has the 100% death participation this time around. Changing the script a bit, trying to show that he can play both roles.
Hey, but the thing is, we are seeing, we see the 3-2 score, but I mean, it is only focused on Diamond Pickle right now. So far, this bottom lane, right, of the Caprice and Bipolarizing, we saw them, do well with that trade. Bit of a CS lead here for the Caitlyn, which is, not too surprising, but it's still coming through for them, something they have going.
And with how strong Caitlyn currently is, it's going to be impactful to see how they're able to play around that come the point when she gets 2 items. She's working on all the mixings right now, trying to get the Infinity Edge, trying to get that Runon's Hurricane. But once she actually picks both those items up, she's going to be absolutely pivotal for the team on how they're able to play around that.
Janet Cristalero to start things off. Bipolarizing force. The flash with jumping in is Urmago. Lots of damage coming in. The flash is trying to get the last auto. It won't be enough. Teleport coming out as Diamond Pickle wants to jump in. He gets exhausted as he's trying to get those leaps down, but he gets rooted and Urmago turns around, finishes him off. And that's another kill from Urmago onto Diamond Pickle.
Diamond Pickle, like I said, he just wants to show that he can play multiple roles in this series, where he can be the one to carry the team and also the one to get carried.
That's brutal. That's brutal, Magical Voice, but that's how we're putting it here.
The thing is, and just to talk about Diamond Pickle a little bit, is sure he's 1-4, but he's doing an amazing job in keeping up with the CS. And once they get to the team fight, sure, he's not having the best time with this gank on the Rengar, but you gotta imagine that he still has that ability to help out his team come the team fights, where we talked about that submarine with the Stand United. So regardless of how he's doing now, we have to keep on the focus on how he's going to be able to transition that once we get to the 20-minute mark.
As you say, Rengar definitely still a fairly big threat. That's the first Drake of the game, Mountain Drake over for MAST Academy C. Pretty easy pickup for them there as they had just taken down Diamond Pickle. So, starting things off here with the objective control. And, we're seeing advantages build up here for MAST Academy C. A bit of a slower, a bit of a slower build up here for them, but we'll see how it goes. When I say slow, I mean in comparison to Bronx.
Yeah.
Side,
Oh, yeah.
Bronx Science.
Oh, but Shockwave in the mid lane almost getting the kill. Wow.
In top lane, they're trading right here, and Twin Fangs may have a bit of a better part, although he's fighting the minion wave, actually has to back away. Things started out well for him, but that gray health shield, that minion wave, a little bit too much for him.
Yeah, and something I do want to bring up really quick is we just saw the 2 fights happening where nothing really much has been able to come to fruition. Oh wait,
Oh, the hunt getting used onto Granzaluno. Stands united to save Diamond Pickle, and by polarizing picks up that kill with the tidal wave. Ermago now trying to run away here, and he will be able to, but a pick off onto Granzaluno.
And that's something I was going to mention, is that most of these kills haven't been happening unless Ermago and Diamond Pickle have been nearby, which means that only Diamond Pickle was far behind. If his team's there, they can still help so greatly, like they just did, but now we're going to have the Missile Voyage coming in.
Whoa, coming out from Acid right into the team, but no backup just yet. He just ends up eating a lot of damage, his health bar going down. He looks to turn things around, but not able to catch off anyone.
Yeah, 4v5, a little bit over ambitious coming in from Acid, where I think he thought he was a lot tankier than he truly is. Having only the Sunfire Cape here, not gonna live if every single person on the enemy team is focusing you.
Yeah, definitely a questionable engage here. And Twin Fangs, oh, he may want to make Acid pay for that one there. He's chasing after him.
But Acid, yeah, Acid still, he's tanky against another tank. He's able to fight off another tank, so I don't think Twin Fangs should really look for too much of a over-aggression on it to that Tahm Kench.
The Diamond Pickle is up here, and he is not a tank. He's going to be doing damage, and despite being down 1-4, he's looking to get things going. Bill, the hunt is about to be backed up. We'll see if he actually needs it for this gank.
It really just depends on the aggression coming in from Acid. We have seen how aggressive he likes to be towards Twin Fangs, and he is getting himself a little bit more far forward.
Up, and there it is. There's a jump, instant flash away to get out of it, and he's rooted, but here comes Ermago and Granzaluno with a counter gank. Diamond Pickle goes down. Granzaluno with that kill, and they turn that one around, and they get 2 in the top lane.
Rampage picked up by that Kha'Zix as well, so he's just absolutely massive for the team. The carrying force that we were talking about, how the jungles are the matchup to watch for these two teams, and Ermago's proven why he's one to watch. He's doing a great job on this early game pressure, making sure to get these advantages for his team, but now they just got to make sure to get these objectives.
Yeah, and they're looking to turn their sights over to this Rift Herald right now. They're going to be starting up with just the 2 of them. But I mean, we've seen people solo should be enough, and actually Rumbo is going to be enough to discourage them from going for it, so they're just back away.
Yeah, they're afraid of that Shockwave and the damage it can do mixed in with that Rift Herald. I think that would be a little bit too ambitious for them to go for. 2 minutes left for that Rift Herald, so if a team's going to make a play for it, they got to work soon.
Yeah, so I mean, we saw those 2 kills in that top lane, but nothing actually comes of it. Like, nothing in terms of objectives comes of it, so
and
not too much picked up.
That's a big flaw for a team that's winning in kills, as well as we see MAST Academy doing so far. They have 3 kills over the competition, but they don't have the gold lead, but Arrow coming in.
Oh, and here comes the Abyssal Voyage as well. Stands united, they counter it out, and Acid gets rooted. Now they turn it onto him. The Shadow Dash jumping in onto him. He gets rooted once again. He's just eating up these traps. And yeah, Granzaluno coming in though, trying to help out. Doesn't quite get there in time. But Acid's slipped in like 3 traps in that fight.
And that's just the problem I'm having right now with MAST Academy, is they win this, they win fight after fight, but they're not able to just confidently go for these dives. They can't go for a great pick onto Capri Sun with an arrow because they just don't have the damage in place on the carries that they want. They have to have Ermago in place if they want to do it, and if he's not in place, they don't have the damage.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. So, I mean, as you said, gold is basically dead even right now, maybe slightly in the lead of Bronx Science. And as you're saying, it's a problem when you have that kill advantage, but you don't have that gold advantage because you know you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Where Bronx Science just able to keep even.
And is it a question on if they're doing something wrong, or if Bronx Science is doing something right, where they're playing from the deficit like they should? Sure, they're losing their lives, but the only one truly dying over and over again is Diamond Pickle. with the other members still in place, it means these objectives are a lot harder for the team to go for.
Yeah, I mean, this bottom lane right now is doing great for Bronx Science. You have to look away from that kill score for a little bit and look at like the CS advantage for the Capri Sun right now. In that last fight, Acid jumped in right on top of them, and I mean, the Capri Sun just put 3 traps right in his path and stepped on every one of them. So it's just these things that MAST Academy have to be careful of.
And if they're not able to overcome this soon, it's getting to that 20-minute mark where the team fights are going to be much more impactful than one carry. If they blow up Ermago, there goes the damage for all of MAST Academy, and all they have to do for the side of Bronx is have Diamond Pickle run in with a shield on him from the Shen as well as a ball, and they get an easy win.
Yeah, I mean, the Rengar is still a threat despite being 1-5. If he jumps on that back line, you have to respect it, especially just with the CC that he's going to put out onto the AD carry. And the follow-up damage that can come through.
Yeah, like, look at his build. He actually has an item over the likes of Ermago. He's been keeping up with the gold. He's only down 200 gold to the Kha'Zix, where you'd expect it to be a massive... Yeah,
Middle of the hunt, the ball's on him, and actually he just hopped out, so it's not on him anymore, but he's gonna root him in anyway, and this should be an easy kill. Wumbo doesn't even need the shockwave, gets it.
I still want to question why Diamond Pickle jumped to a minion. I definitely want to ask him what his thought process was.
Oh
on
man,
that one.
Icy Doge. You step on a trap and maybe that's all it needs to be. Steps on another Icy Doge, almost going down.
Yeah, the redemption keeping him safe. No thrill of the hunt for Diamond Pickle, but it looks like he still wants to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, just pressuring them out here. Dragon into Wind Drake up, and looks like they're going to start this one up.
Yeah, going to be a Cloud Drake. Still in a good objective for them to get, where they're trying to get the momentum back in their favor.
Acid wants to come in.
Oh yeah, Acid just stuck his way in with that Abyssal Voyage, but not able to actually steal that away. Twin Fang still in the top lane, not even caring, and he has that Sand United still available.
Yeah, so Acid jumps down to the bottom half of the map right there. The Dragon did go over, but maybe looking to apply pressure on this middle lane. The thing is, Shockwave is still up for Wumbo. You have to remember that. And Pickle just
throw the hunt just back up.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about. The team fights are a little bit more in favor of Bronx, where now they have a 3,000 gold lead. They're just getting this objective split to just build it up, split it open for the team, and not having to worry about being down in kills because they've just been farming up. They've been playing for this mid game. They've been playing for the team fights, and they know how to out macro the likes of MAST Academy.
Yeah, and they're gonna crack open this first third of the game. They're in that middle lane. So that's first one there, and that's going to be definitely gold advantage over to Bronx Science. Yeah. 22 minutes in.
Yeah, a little later than the last game was, but still, they are starting to crack it open, and you got to wonder if MAST Academy, they're going to be able to answer this, or if they're just going to continue to fall. They're down almost 2,000 gold now. It's a little slower paced, but it's going more and more in favor of Bronx Sciences with every passing minute.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the gold, you're seeing that Diamond Pickle is actually ahead of his counterpart now. And
it's not good if you have a 1-5-2 Rengar and a 4-0-2 Kha'Zix, and the Kha'Zix is behind.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is I mean, I think they just I feel like is it just like Bronx Science just like ended that laning phase early and they started grouping up a bit more, or is it just because this Kha'Zix, I mean, you see this 4-0 Kha'Zix, you expect him to snowball, but he just hasn't been.
I feel like it's more what we mentioned earlier. Who was the one who was the recipient of all the deaths?
Yeah.
It was the Rengar. It wasn't any of the laners, where we saw, I think, there's literally only one kill on a laner, and that is Twin Fangs. And when they got that kill, he was, I believe, in the bot side of the map. He wasn't even in his own lane.
Yeah.
So they aren't able to get any sort of objective afterwards. They're not sure how to use the advantage that Ermago is able to carve out. They weren't able to bully down a lane. They weren't able to just close out a lane they should have, and then been able to group up themselves like they would want to.
Yeah, I think it's a bit deceiving there when we just only look at that kill counter and you have to look at that scoreboard. 1-5 Rengar, although it doesn't mean much when when all of your lanes are either keeping even or ahead.
Exactly, and that's something that teams need to always look at. Is if they're going to get these kills, how do they use those kills to their advantage? They could have easily used Imago and Acid in the top lane to try to bully around Twin Fangs and try to go for an early tower. That would have been the great way, but now mid lane.
Yep, Gran Torino trying to duel up against Wumbo. He goes for that unleashed power, and oh man, they're not able to block. Ace in the hole. The redemption's gonna come down for Imago. It's not fast enough. There's the shutdowns. Icy Doge down as well. 3-0 for Bronx Science.
That was an amazing engage coming in from Bronx Science, where it started off pretty well. They had Gran Zolina pretty down, and they were like, okay, we can use the shockwave. They got themselves the Zonians out of that Syndra, and knew the rest of the team was coming in for the collapse. So they just made sure to use Capri-Sun, the ace in the hole, not blocked by any of the other members, to save the Syndra, but she had already expunged everything. She had used it all to try to get Wombo, but with the Stand United used to mitigate all of the unleashed power of the Syndra, it meant nothing, and that the ultimate absolutely was wasted.
Acid's gonna get found out here. They cancel that recall, and Wumbo takes him down quickly. Wow.
Gotta make sure never to get caught recalling and shopping, my friends. This is what happens. You can easily get bursted out by a wandering Orianna as such.
And you look at that, I mean, you see that Bronx Science, they find their advantage. They find those 3 kills in the middle lane. They go straight to that burn. They go straight to that top lane.
Exactly. And look at that. Look what just happened in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, it went from a barely 2,000 gold
Imago, you can't do this. Level 12 Cosmos against level 16? Wumbo?
Shockwave just...
I don't think so.
Just for style. Just for style.
I don't think so there. Wumbo easily picks up that kill.
See, Imago is now playing like he's still ahead, instead of treating it like they're behind, knowing that the Orianna is so far ahead. She is just absolutely massive. That was some brutal damage that she was able to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, leading the game in CS right now, this Orianna, and just jumped up to 4 kills in the past few engages there, so it's just so dangerous. Twin Fangs now, he's able to switch so effectively, and this is just the play that we're seeing from Bronx Science. Came a little bit later in this game, but here it is right now. They have all the advantages.
And they just blew open the game. Acid's going to be the next target.
Yeah, Void Cyclone about to go down in this top lane, or maybe not. Meanwhile, Acid, as you said, does go down. In that top lane, though, they were looking... Diamond Pickle was looking to dive onto Void Cyclone and almost got him down. But I think what's more important is this bottom lane here. That pick off onto Acid, and they're going to take 2 turrets from it. Pretty easy to push when you have that Baron buff.
Yeah, they're looking for more. They're just pushing it all the way down. Only the Syndra there to defend against Baron up minions. There's very little she can actually do.
Oh, Shockwave onto 1. That's all it needs to do for a kill there. Void Cyclone getting chased after a Wumbo. Gets
Unstoppable.
Yep, unstoppable now. 5-0-4. And they're going to get way more than just 2 turrets. This is going to be an inhibitor going down.
I don't think they're even done. I think they're going to keep going. There's 30 seconds left on Void Cyclone and Gran Zolina. They have so much time they could still go for the game if they wanted to, but they decided to just play it a lot more cautiously and back off.
Yeah, they're gonna play it safe here. I mean, they have such a huge advantage here. They don't know it's the 10,000 gold ahead, but we know, and they're gonna play it safe. Don't want to lose it here, so.
Yeah, well, they're sitting on most of that gold anyways. They're sitting on about, I'd say, 4,000 of the 10,000 that they would want to have that advantage over the likes of MAST Academy. Yeah, so being able to back buy some items, they're going to go into this next fight and really be able to just close it out in a decisive manner.
Yeah, and just brutal how this game just turned around so quickly. Bronx Science, I mean, teams are going to have to be careful of this. They find I think it's just excellent shot calling them. They find where they want to go. They find their advantage and they go straight for it, and then they just have the game plan to go wherever they need to go next, and they just play with their advantage so well.
And that could also be a noted weakness for this team. If any team is watching, just know that they're not necessarily the strongest in the early game, but they very much are great at that mid game. So if you're able to get a decisive advantage, really inflict a lot of pain on them early on, that could be your way into beating this team. But now we see what they can do with a huge advantage such as they have now.
Yep, it's pushing it onto the middle lane. Unleashed Power doesn't even do that much damage to the Capri Sun there. They turn it around. That is going to be Gran Toluno getting shot down. And now they push mid.
Yeah, they're pushing mid while Twin Fangs is fighting Acid. The tank battle, the wet noodles are going flying all throughout the air.
Now Wumbo's going to come in with a huge water gun here. Jumping in onto this. Acid goes down.
And
Water
that
cannon.
is how you get rid of them.
Yep, that is going to be Tahm Kench going down. I mean, he's, what, the River King?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He's more like a tadpole, if you ask me.
And now we're seeing this push once again starting up on this middle lane. Traps being set up. This inhibitor turret's not going to be too long for this world. Feel the hunt getting popped by Diamond Pickle.
Yeah, most likely just to zone away, use the siege potential that this entire team of Bronx Sciences has developed. They get themselves the inhibitor tower and that inhibitor in the mid lane. Only the top remains where they can... It seems like they're just going to go for the clean, decisive win, trying to get every single objective possible.
Yep, 2 inhibitors down. That bottom half, Icy Doge getting bursted just a bit there. Gran Toluno gets the stun down the Capri Sun, but the shield's coming in. He kites away and gets out. And the damage coming in, a double kill. And they're just got obliterated right there. 4 members already down. Acid's the only one standing. This has got to be it.
Yeah, that shockwave was absolutely massive, but they're going for more. They're padding the KDAs.
Yeah, that's it. And the surrender vote actually came out from the side of MAST Academy C. So Bronx Science comes away with the 2-0 win, commanding wins in both of these games.
And that's something to be scary about if you ever have to face this team. They know how to shot call. They know how to handle things, even if they're behind in kills. They'll be able to just rotate, get these objectives, and continue to be able to scale up to that point where they just roll right over you.
Yeah, this is just great team work coming out from them, and that's definitely something you're going to be scared of. This team, Bronx Science, they're going to be moving on to the second round, the round of 32. They'll be facing, this is going to be a mouthful, Acton, Boxborough Regional High School, or Adlai E. Stevenson High School. Whoever wins that match there, that'll be who will be competing against Bronx Science. But that is all we have for today, guys, here at the High School Star League. Thanks for joining me and Magical Voice. It's been Crusader Kitten and Magical Voice on the call. Of course, just be sure to check out more about the High School Star League on our website, hsstarleague.com, on Facebook at hsstarleague, on Twitter for all the updates when we'll be streaming, and of course, follow the stream for some more High School Star League action. We'll be back to you next week with more High School Star League of Legends Spring 2017 Playoffs. We'll be getting into the round of 32. Thanks for joining us this time. We'll see you all next week.